Hi friends, happy Friday. It is, already March 14th. Can you believe it? It's crazy. Already halfway through the third month of 2025 and so much stuff has happened. Yet we still have so many more months ahead of us for this year. And yeah, so a little excited. Well, a lot excited. We're doing lots of good stuff on 2025, despite anything else that's going on. As long as we're keeping us positive and moving forward, we'll be all right. So, I do have some background noise. I have my little friend, Frida. She's one of my little enchanted pets. She's hanging out with us. I don't know if she wants to hang out on me, but she's definitely likes to make her way around while I'm chatting. So here she is, Frida in all her glory. I even have a tattoo of her as Frida Kahlo. So I'm just saying. And we matched today. We're both wearing yellow. Love it. What do you think, Frida? You ready to rock and roll? Talk about this? All right. So today I wanted to bring up a little topic, talk about it. I definitely, in my coaching and stuff like that, I go in much more depth with my workshops and when I'm doing trainings and so on and so forth. However, it's a really great topic to touch base on and to talk about because it's a good focal point. I'm really focusing on what I'm focusing on and how I'm doing it and how, the intentions and everything else. And doing these videos and getting myself out there is one, it's growth for me, but two, it's helping you in a way that, is maybe unexpected. Maybe you didn't expect to learn something today or have something hit you the way it did or whatever the case may be. So this is just a way for me to kind of share my love and light through coaching and get to talk about different things and then get your feedback and tell me if it helped. Tell me if it didn't help. Tell me if you have a different way of doing it. I'd love to hear all of that. I know the collective would as well. It's growing. Not a lot of video, watching going on right now, but it's going to happen. I'm not worried about it. So I'm going to keep pushing these out and we're going to do this. So the topic I wanted to cover today is responding versus reacting. Now, this is something that I focus on with conflict resolution and just really communication in general. Now, this is a workshop that I do that could be a couple hours, depending on exercises and stuff like that. But I really wanted to just give you the snorkeling, where it's a superficial thing, but I want you to dig deeper on it. And if you have questions and want help, reach out, talk to me. So responding versus reacting. This is when, in any type of communication, we respond and react to any type of stimulus, right? We have to, there's a transactional aspect to conversations and everything else. And a lot of the times that there's some type of conflict is typically due to a reactionary aspect of somebody giving feedback of what you said or vice versa. So the difference between responding versus reacting is, let's talk about reactions, right? So, and why do we react? So reactions are instinctual, stemming from the subconscious mind. There's no filtering process. It's really how you react to the situation. It's emotional. It's unbridled. It's almost like an intrusive thought that just comes out, or intrusive feelings and actions that come out because we are triggered emotionally. And it's not always, do some situations definitely, feed for a reaction, an emotional reaction? Yeah, especially happy ones. Oh my gosh, it's not a thing where you have to slow down and go whatever. It's like, that's your emotional reaction, and they serve you in those in those situations. But responses are needed for when it's definitely something that we're talking about that's maybe a hard topic or whatever the situation is. So they do both serve us in different ways, but it's timing, So reactions are emotional. They're that unbridled, like, holy moly, like, it's crazy, I love it, it's so much. Or it could be anger. Or it could be unbridled sadness. Just all of a sudden there's grief that hits right when it happens. And maybe that's not the best outcome or milestone in that conversation that's going to help. You know, our emotions going to help us, right? So responses. What are responses? Well, when you respond, you first explore in your mind the possible outcomes, right, of your reply before you say a word. And this could be, oh, I feel what I want to say. I know what my reaction is going to be, but I have that bridle on, right? Or you know, like unbridled is the reaction. Bridled is the response. Like we're in control of our emotions. We're in control of how we respond and react. And we can actually filter that and think about it. So when it's something that, you know, hey, I didn't like the way you cooked dinner last night. Well, you could say, well, and a reaction would be what? You know, well, you can freaking cook dinner yourself next time. That'd be a reaction, right? But what would be a response to that? Oh, that's interesting. What about dinner did you not like? Maybe it was just the time it was served. Maybe it was a joke. Maybe it was whatever. But instead of instantly going to that, like, well, F you, middle finger, like you can just do whatever and suck an egg, it's, I'm curious why you would even say that. Please enlighten me. Because that's where you're going to get the real information. When you slow down and really use that time and an effort to understand where the other person's coming from, and maybe they haven't done that for you, right? But if communication and relationship building is something that you want to get good at, you have to be the catalyst that's the change, right? You have to be the one that takes that, okay, I see what you're doing here, but I'm not going to react to that. I'm going to respond in a different way to get a different outcome, because what I don't want is the argument. What I don't want is the conflict. And there's healthy conflict, which is fine. But if you know a person, you know where it's going, and you know how they trigger you, and you know all of those things, this is the time to take a step back and ask yourself why. Why are you triggered by that person? Why are you triggered? Why do you get that anxiety when you know you want to talk, when you have to talk to them? Is it because you know that you're going to react to the situation and it won't turn out well? Or do you have the patience, the curiosity, and there's Frida confirming this is the way we do it, confirming that you have that confidence and the ability to slow down and slow the other person down and pull them out of maybe an emotional situation, or being empathetic to their emotions instead of being reactive to them, right? So short video, not a ton, but it's a fun little tool that I would love for you guys to use. And I will put this in, I can probably take a screen. I'll figure it out, but I'll put it in the notes. And it's just my little thing that I use, especially when it's an emotional situation where I know I'm triggered and I feel the heat come up and I want to like, whoo. Now, sometimes my face gives it away, and that's something that we all have to work on, right? So the tool is pause, and it's an acronym. So P is for pause your reaction. Don't react, just pause it. A, ask yourself why. Like I just said, why? Why am I having this reaction to this situation, or what was said, or the tone, or whatever? Because it could be something from 20 years ago, or it could be something from 5 seconds ago. So just keep that in mind. It could be from anywhere, but this is stuff for you to do on your time to really understand your psyche and your response and your reactions better. Because the better we know how we show up, the better we will show up. Does that make sense? All right, so P, pause your reaction. A, ask yourself why. U, utilize your self-management skills. Manage yourself. You're the only one you have control over, right? We can't set boundaries on other people, and you can't do this and you can't do that. They're going to do whatever they want. The only person we can control is us. Even our kids we can't control. They have a mind of their own, and why would we want to, right? I don't want to control anybody. I want to be able to communicate and react and respond positively towards any situation with them. Now, am I perfect? Are they perfect? No. We're all going to have our moments where we get caught up, right? But if we have this in the forefront of our mind and we are always in that energy of curiosity and an understanding, it will take over those reactions, right? Okay, utilize your self-management skills. S, skillfully choose a response. It could be nothing. You could respond with nothing, and it's absolutely fine. Because it's your response. Because your reaction would change the situation. So what's a good way to skillfully choose a response and maybe say nothing? Wow. Okay. You know, I really need to think about that. I need to think about that and really just soak it in and then give you a response, because yeah, I just really need to think about it. That's it. They don't need anything else. They could push, but if you have good boundaries with yourself and know that it's okay and that you will, because you've set those boundaries and you've made that clear with your friends and family, or if you haven't, do it. Because the only way that you're going to be able to communicate in a more positive way and move forward, be able to set goals and have mutually agreed upon goals and all of those things, is by improving your communication. So whether it's the communication that you're here for, whether it's the silliness that you're here for, the bird squeaking, the crazy hair, I love the yellow. Man, yellow's my color, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's my thing. So, and my daughter's calling me on FaceTime. So what do you think about that? I am going to stop recording so I can take care of my daughter, but I hope you guys have a fabulous weekend. If I don't talk to you before then, remember to always respond versus react, unless it's warranted. Unless it's like somebody's having a baby or some really great news, then react all the way. But anyways, have a great weekend. Love you all. Bye.